Good morning and welcome once again to Daybreak Africa from our studio in the state to the sunshine state of the nation. It's a beautiful morning. My name still remains Ikhonede Joshua Adeji.
And hi, I'm Afolashayo Hamzat. Welcome on the show today.
Good morning. Yes, welcome back to the show. If just joined us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and now it's time to go straight to our discussions for today. Today we're looking at one of the very topical issues in the country as we speak, talking about the accusations leveled towards the federal government that they are trying to drag the country into a one-party system, in the sense that if you look at the recent events happening within the country, you begin to see a lot of defections from opposition parties. Not just that, you begin to see members of even opposition parties campaigning for the incumbent president of Nigeria, despite the fact that there have been talks about coalitions, going on here, there. And this is not just in the southern part of the country. In the northern part of the country, presidential candidate of the NNPP recently visited the president, even though there was a counter visit by the evangelist of the coalition in the person of Nasser El-Rufai. We're talking about Kwankwaso here. But then it's becoming very alarming looking at the defections. Many are already talking about the fact that the president himself is trying to drag the country into a one-party system, just like he had done in Lagos State for the last 25 years or 26 years thereabouts. And we'll be looking at this holistically, and to discuss with us today in the studio, he's a friend of the house, he's a political analyst, a public affairs analyst in the person of Akiniran, Akinsile. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pleasure to have you again.
Likewise, you guys. I'm happy to see you.
We are very happy to see you, actually, too.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me say he's representing a good Yoruba man.
Yeah, very the cap and everything.
I'm proud of you.
That's nice. Let me start by saying there's been a whole lot of accusations here and there to the presidency concerning dismantling democratic foundations, and a whole lot of people saying they are seeing it as if it is a calculated and systematic efforts of the present government concerning how the nation is and how it seems as if the president is trying to make it a one-party country. And a whole lot of people have been saying they are worried about the weaponization of the state institutions for partisans' gain, and also saying it undermines the integrity of our democracy. This whole thing, what do you have to say concerning it as a Nigerian?
Oh, thank you very much. I want to say good morning to viewers at home once again. It's very unfortunate that we found ourselves in this situation. However, I want to speak my two mouths. Okay. I'm having 2 months now. I want to speak the truth.
Okay.
If truly what President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is doing is for the betterment of Nigerians, let us embrace him and let's forge ahead. Whether we are going for one-party system or we want to remain how we are, let us first of all allow the masses to judge whether they are justified, whether the Nigerians are happy with the present situation or the ways this present administration is ruling Nigeria. If it is okay then by them, why are we having another problem with it? But if we all agreed that we are not happy and we are not comfortable with the present administration, it is there we can now look inward to say, what do we do to either send them back in or modify them or join them? And by the look of things, I want to believe most people are going through joining them syndrome. That is to say, if you cannot beat them, you join them. And I have to give it to our president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He's a fantastic leader. He has a vision, and he's working his vision, and he's getting it gradually. If you recollect, like we said the other time, for over 25 years now, he has been in the full control of Lagos State, and nobody can question his authority in Lagos State. It's just like extension. What he has demonstrated in Lagos and worked for him is trying to try it in Nigeria, and perhaps from the look of all things, is working for him. The truth, or the question we need to ask ourselves is this: are we now like Lagos? Can't we diversify our mindset? Are we going to align with his ideology to ensure that he's in firm control of this country? Whether we like it or not, every Nigerian should give it to him. is an idealist. He had a dream and is living a dream and is working for him. The question is this: who is ready to stop this dream? Who are the people that can stop him? Time will tell.
But don't you think it's too early for politicking at this particular time? Because I think yesterday I was asking the question in Daybreak Africa that a famous philosopher postulated recently that democracy only offers you more of politics than governance, and the higher you go in democracy, the more political you become than governance. And the person was making an analogy of the Nigerian situation right now. That look at Nigeria as we speak. Tinubu is not yet even 2 years in office. This is just 1 year, 11 months. We are just gradually getting to 2 years and all that, and we are already bedeviled with a lot of issues economically, security-wise, and all that. Though the economic part was even expected because of the fuel subsidy removal and all that, but security is there. There are still a lot of things, infrastructural and all that, and the country is not yet, progressing into that line. We saw what the IMF said recently, and the World Bank too, so that Nigeria by 2030 or thereabouts will increase when it comes to the poverty rate and all that. And these are issues that we are thinking that they are supposed to be focusing on. But then rather than that, we are seeing a lot of political moves and all that. Don't you think it's too early for politicking at this particular time in the country?
Thank you very much. To me, I will go by the second option. It's not too early. As a matter of fact, we are getting late. Yes, it's getting too late.
How?
Very simple. If you recollect, PDP ruled Nigeria for 16 years. But immediately it was 80 years. This same president of today, President Bola Tinubu, came with a group. They couldn't achieve it in the 12th year of PDP. The 16th year they could not. But immediately the 16 years expired, they got it. So it's a dream. Today, the dream that was sold for Nigerians seems not working. I guess to be corrected. And if it is working, why can't you allow us to continue? But if we all think that is not working, this is the best time for us to re-strategize before we go far in it. Tell whether you like it or not. You cannot compare a 16-year-old child, a teenager, to another 9 years teenage child. Now, what we have seen in the first 16 years of PDP, presently some people believed that the 9 years of
the APC
is not like taking Nigeria backward again. That's by speculation.
Yeah.
And now we are trying to juxtapose as PDP 16 years better than 9 years of APC, or perhaps 9 years of APC as outweigh the activities of PDP of 16 years. By the time we want to balance it, we agree with me that the weight can easily tell which one is weightier. And now this is why some Nigerians are clamoring for maybe the needed change, and that was why the president came up with renew hope, because we have been having hope. I think the first one we had was 1993 that never came to existence. Today is giving us a renewed hope. Nigerians are now saying, if you are giving us renewed hope, the hope should start from the beginning. They should begin to see the hope from onset, not until after 4 years, not until after 8 years.
So is it possible?
Which is because we have learned from experience. 80 years of PMB, President Muhammad Buhari, has taught us lessons to the extent the present administration admitted that government failed. If the present government could admit that Buhari's regime was a failure, should we continue to build on failure? We need something new. We need something drastic to change the narrative. And has it come? If the answer is no, there's need for us to have another strategy to change the change. And if we cannot do it, then we manage what we have. The problem is this: 8 years of Buhari, we successfully managed insecurity. 8 years of Buhari, we successfully managed economic hardship. guess what? As of today, the two are still in existence. We have not gotten over any of the two. And 2 years in another, let's as of today, 23 months. No, in another 23 months gone out of 48. Like I said when I came here a few months ago, I said every president in Nigeria has 48 months. Whatever you want to do in 48 months, 12 months should be a kind of to reflect what the remaining 36 months will be. Now 23 months gone, we only have 25 months to go. And what have we seen as change? What have we renewed? What can we point to as hope for Nigerians? What can Nigerians identify that has been renewed? If not, then there is need for us to re-strategize.
You made mention of something earlier. You were saying if we can get someone who could do it better, probably we need to manage. Referring back to the time of President Buhari, he said during his time we had to manage insecurity, hardship, and all. But then I'm thinking, for how long do we keep managing? That
is why the need for change. I said we need to change the change. We have achieved it. I mean, we have tried for 8 years to manage, which the present administration admitted that Nigerians really tried to have successfully managed 8 years of Buhari. Now this is another 2 years out of 4, and we are yet still in the same position. Shall we continue, or we need to think further? We need to have a kind of what we call foresight that this thing is not working. Let us re-strategize. Take for instance, if you have a child, ideally any child should be able to crawl at 8-9 months. A child should be able to crawl
9 months,
and once you notice that at age 12 your child is not crawling, at 23 months your child is not crawling, what do?
Go to the physician.
Find a solution to it. And that's exactly what Nigerians are doing now. That Nigerian is now 23 months old, yet we are yet to crawl. And that's why some people said, okay, let us come together and see whether we can find a way to allow this baby to crawl. The question I expect you to ask me is this: is the present administration admitted that we are still not yet crawling? If the answer is yes, their case closed. But if the answer is no, then we need to ask ourselves the question: that what can we say, or what can we identify, or what can we pinpoint to
as we crawling?
As if we are now crawling to the extent of walking, because at age 12, 13, 14, a child should begin to walk. Now the question is, have we been walking as in Nigeria? The answer is yes, the answer is no. The present administration should come up and tell us. I have respect for this administration and I always give it to them, but they are yet to be where I want them to be.
But do you think the way the president is operating, do you think it's or do you see it as though he's working towards making democracy or affecting democracy in Nigeria? That's one. And the second thing is, do you think it's as if he wants everybody to just be one party? Because if you hear these people, they will say, okay, they want to connect, like what Joshua was saying the other time, like, we want to connect to the top, we want to connect to Abuja. Is it supposed to be so?
That is where the problem is. And I doubt if you are going to get out of the problem. You see, as of today, hardship, poverty has been weaponized. And people are desperately determined to get out of that level of hardship and poverty. And that is the bait to get there, to get more people to that side, whereby you think everything green is giving us pasture. We are looking for greener pasture, and because they are giving us a kind of green light, we thought there is light. I want Nigerians to encourage it, and let's see where it will end up. But I can assure you, some countries have tried it in the past. Two things happened. One, like you said the other time, political gains will be more than governance. Governance will not be seen again. And I want to use your notice as a case study. Immediately, Governor Aida came on board. I came here to say I am proud of him. He's going to do well. Today is just about 2 months in office. We have been seeing some changes, but some things we still have more challenges than changes. And this is why the same thing is happening to Nigeria now. Since our president came on board, we have more challenges than what you can identify as development. Like we said, we have coastal road, Calabar, Lagos to Calabar. Have we managed the present road we have when we are trying to create another one? And don't forget that Calabar has been a dream since 1970s. In the early 70s, they have dreamt of Lagos Calabar. They could not achieve it. But this present administration want to leave other things aside and achieve it. Let's see where to take us to. That's by the way. Now we are talking about governance and political gains. Today, we are yet to be where we're supposed to be. And everyone knows, just like an illustration, there is a village with milk and honey. There's another village with forest. People are now living where there is milk and honey to the forest. Forest is also good because you can have your vegetation.
Definitely.
But where milk and honey is available is a kind of red meat. Nigerians are now leaving the red meat for vegetables by my proverbial illustration. Where am I going to is that Nigeria today, we are yet to know what is right and what is wrong. Ideally, I have said it many years back, even on this station, that one party system will never pay Nigeria, will never work for Nigeria. But we are getting there now. We are getting closer. And the question is this: are they being forced? Are they being lured? Have Nigerians been forcefully taken to the party? The answer is no. Just like we decided, we convincingly decided that because I want to be part of them, let me go and join them. And that is why you see every names in Nigeria, every good name in Nigeria joining the party. And let me just tell you one funny thing about it. I have seen it coming, and I want to analyze it today. Like I said when I want to start my discussion here today, that Nigerians will be given the chance to choose. I foresee one thing, and I want to analyze it for us. When they say they don't like this government, why are you going to it? That's number one. Now, if you don't like something, what do? You express your feelings against it. But today, we know that this thing is not good, yet we are going there. Like your brother said, no, but juju be that. Not juju now. So be it as it may, I want to say this to Nigeria. When I called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a genius, it's because he had a dream. In the days of PDP, he had his permutation. And he came up and he got it. Don't forget, when they want to finish PDP, you know what happened? 5 governors resigned from
the
PDP
to
APC. Many parties left their parties, merged to form APC. This, by then, Tinubu knew that when you get political powers, when you get politicians of repute to your side, you get what you want. And that was the theory. And he used it and it worked. Today he's still using the same method. If anybody wants to get out of it, you need to use the same method but in another dimension. But that is if they contact me, I will tell them what to do.
If they contact you. Well, actually, at the beginning, I was kind of confused at the time because I was thinking, is he for? Is he against? Is he? but gradually, I began to see the sarcasm at the beginning, and now it's getting clearer as we speak. But then here is the thing. Like you said earlier, this is my own view, the way I've been viewing it from the past week. And like you said, I think I'm seeing a bit of light into it. I think Tinubu has worked too much in the opposition for a very long time. He understood the tactics of entering into power and getting into power. Maybe the reason why they are not focusing more on governance and focusing on the politics part is because he knows that a stitch in time will definitely save 9. But let's talk a bit about the coalition, this suspected coalition, like I said, because do you think they are wasting too much time trying to make their moves? Because as we speak, it's as if with this move that the APC just made recently and the pulling power of the president, we have seen even some powerful people. Imagine someone like Ifeanyi Okowa, who happens to be not just the former governor of Delta State, is the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party's
who just lost
the election. Atiku Abubakar, his vice, is now in the APC. We are seeing NNPP, Kwankoso, the presidential candidate, currently being lured. He was in a meeting for hours in Aso Rock just this past week. Though El Rufai immediately, did a counter meeting with him. But we know very vehemently that when it comes to negotiation, only God knows how he does it. But then, do you see this coalition as valuable enough to pull weight as we speak? Because if we are looking at it, power blocks are moving totally. And from many political commentators, those in those opposition, it's not as if they still have the wherewithal that they had years ago. Let's talk about a person like El Rufai. El Rufai is no longer the governor of Kaduna State. And if we're talking about Kaduna State currently, with the current state of the governor, we know Nigerian politics, the governor holds more power than any other person. So do we think that the coalition can pull something from what you are saying as we speak?
Thank you very much. What you have just said is just a confirmation of my statement that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is used to using politicians to get what he wants. And you mentioned the names you have mentioned, including El Rufai. Don't forget, El Rufai was screened out of ministerial appointment. When that is to tell you that if you don't want something, there are ways to tell the person you don't want him or her. Now, I have just said it that what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is used to is using politicians. When you get them, use them to get what you want. And that is why you cannot see the president playing any game with the likes of Wike, because they are the cabal, they are the strength behind the government. Despite he's in the opposition, he's under his feet as of today. Likewise, he's trying to get the likes of Kwankwaso. The Oko was already there now, and even the present governor of Delta State just decamped, and even Omagege also joined them because they were being hack rival for a very long time. But today, because of their party affiliation, they are now becoming one. So APC is getting stronger and stronger, and if you go by my analysis, it's only River State that can just be seen is a bit more in political inclination in Nigeria, in the south. If we take River State, the next state you can think of is Delta. Now Delta is under his feet. Edo State is there. The Rivers is there. That means south is gone already. Come to the southwest. Ondo State is there. Ekiti is there. Lagos is there. Just remaining 2 or 3 local states to be. Just Oyo State and Osho State. Then game over. By this time, these games is getting stronger and tougher. You will agree with me that this one party system will come to stay. However, to every coin there are two sides. If the opposition wants to get it right, there are still something they can do to get it. Because that is where my question is. I have told you that you come and contact me. This is personal to me, and because I've seen it coming. I have said it 2-3 years on this same station that if on the line, and I think if you still have the clip, you can play it. That if President Tinubu becomes the president of Nigeria, we should be thinking of one party system. Today, here we are. He's now the president, and the next target is to get Nigeria to be one party system. If we are thinking of 2027, we are deceiving ourselves. 2027 is good as being gone because the winner has emerged. You cannot fault it. If you are in a political party now, you want to fight, think of another 6 years.
Wow.
If possible.
So you feel that the efforts of the coalition
everything right is perfected, and it can only take the grace of God to change it. And if you say the grace of God, that means the human power to change the change. And who can do it? Let me now come back to your question. That what do I say to the coalition? This coalition will not work, and I will tell you why it will not work. Every player in the coalition today is ambitious, and because of the ambition, it will not see the light of the day. Atiku will not be able to step down for Obi. Obi is not ready to step down for Odedebayo. Odedebayo is not ready to step down for Kwankwaso and the likes. I just use name anyway. I don't mean it as I said. So because of that ambition, they will not have any headway. And if they want to have any headway, they should go and look for anybody that has integrity, that is not part of. But this is what I don't want to say anyway. So what I'm saying is that there are ways you can still get it done. Just part of it anyway. I'm just trying to say that Nigeria can be great again. Anything, the present administration cannot be as terrible as that of Baba Obasanjo when he was in power. It got to a stage he was accused, he was alleged that he's looking for the third term. They wanted to go for third term.
There are confirmations to that.
We don't know,
Even
but the truth of the matter is that thing did not see the light of the day because some people stood against it. If we think Nigeria is not good for us today, some people can still stand against it and get it. But if it is good for us, all like me, this is the era of Japa. Tomorrow I will carry my bag and Japa. If I can manage the Nigeria situation, I maintain. But the truth of the matter is that average Nigeria today will tell you they are not happy, but they are enjoying the government. So the story of fella of then now came to play that suffering and smiling. May God help us.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. So from this break, I'll do my own seller. I'll be silent and ruminate on this. Then from the break, I know you can be enjoying Go Start from there, where Go Start will inspire you to do one or two things with your business life as well. So enjoy Go Start. When we're back from Go Start, we'll continue with our discussion. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is KAFTAN Television and this is Daybreak Africa, and we've been discussing a whole lot of things that is happening here in Nigeria, and that was Go Start. I'm very sure you enjoyed it. Stop procrastinating and do that business. Start that business today. Welcome back. Let me say welcome back. Because let me say the first one was somehow tough.
Very tough.
And
extremely tough.
Never can tell how this is going to be. Now the question I'll be asking is, now talking about the masses, we Nigerians, at this point, let's now take it that, okay, we now have just one party in Nigeria. What do you think we are supposed to do? Are we just supposed to sit and watch and anything that happens, happens? Or what do you think we should do? Because you made mention of something before we went the other time concerning suffering and smiling. How to avoid that?
Thank you very much. By the time Nigeria will become a one-party system, it will be like the era of the military, whereby decree is used and you cannot fault any decree. By that time, every law will not be done by some few and will be binding on others because they will always influence that law to be binding. Take for instance, today, if the opposition can say we know, they can even walk out of the house when they are having laws that are not of their mind or against their wishes.
Interest.
By the time we have one party system, it's a matter of calling 2-3 people together, sit down in a place, sell the idea to them, and the same people will now go and sell to others. By the time it is being sold to others, to everybody, whether good or bad, we all take it. Take for instance, I am surprised to hear of recent that people can now, there is possibility by next election, people can begin to vote without PVC.
Wow.
It's already in the news that they want to make it a law now that you can vote without PVC. It's a good idea, but the question is this: with PVC, we still shortchange ourselves. We still manipulate. We still have vote buying and the rest. What if PVC? We are no longer using PVC? That means anything goes.
I think they are trying to get more technological advancements.
Even if you are going to get any technological advancement, the one we have done, have you achieved well with it? Have you forgotten that the last election, we went to Supreme Court before we came back?
Yes. Which
election have we done in Nigeria we have not gone to court?
All elections.
All elections. That means we have not grown beyond the... we have not seen INEC as a justified umpire to manage Nigeria's election. Then why can't we grow as things goes? We have yet to go to that level and we are doing it. That's by the way. Going back to your question, if Nigeria becomes a one-party system, some people will just be deciding the fate of you and I without your consent. Because they will think for me and they will think what they have thought about me is the right and to be binding. That is the disadvantage of one-party system. It's all about education. by the time you educate Nigerians, they will know the good, the bad, and the ugly side of what we want to get into. And let me just tell you another thing. The good side of one party system is that the country will move faster. Everything will go smoothly because the decision will come from a place and that place will not be faulted. So it will enhance development and growth. So to every good side of a thing, there's always a bad side. I just told you the two. But left to Nigeria, I want to say, if we think that we are ripe for one party system, so be it. But
so
if you think
you are Nigerians, you are Nigerians.
I am Nigerian and I'm proud to be one, Yoruba man to be precise.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter is this: once your voice is not heard, or once your voice is not audible enough, then you go for the audible one. And that's exactly APC is giving us a voice that Nigerians have not heard. And it's very audible now that we can all hear. Then the next thing is to dance to it. But if you think you cannot dance to it, then there's room for you to have a change of mind. I want to go with what our former president Olusegun Obasanjo said of recent. I only detest a part of it by mentioning war. You don't need to mention war, but another person I cannot quote him. He sees what I will see, what I cannot see in another 20-30 years. That man must have seen it, because in the Yoruba kingdom we always respect elders, and the voice of elders are word of wisdom. So I have seen maybe what he has not seen, and what I have not seen, he has seen it. But in my own little way, as a young person, I don't believe in war, because I don't want to die. When you go into war, yes, when you go into war, the only people that come back can tell the story of the war. And that's why I would never encourage war even in the least community I belong to. Put that one aside. What he has said is a truth about the present administration. That if this man, he calls him genius. And that's why I respect him. Even when Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria, this man stood against him and he achieved what he wanted to achieve. That is to tell you that man is a man of integrity. He's a man of high esteem that Nigeria should worship like an idol. I see him as another Awolowo, because once you dream something and you actualize the dream and you are getting the dream and you want to get to the end of the dream, I give it to you. He's a philosopher, and you should, as we have Aristotle and Plato, we should have Tinubu name to be part of them. I respect him and I will always do that. Put that one aside. When there are issues like this, there is always a bad side and a good side. As of today, 90% of Nigeria will tell you Nigeria is not good. Economically, we are yet to be there. Security wise, we are not there. In terms of international relations, we are not close. In terms of food production, we are far from it. In terms of we
can't even treat ourselves.
We cannot even treat. You see our leaders going abroad to go and treat themselves. Mention these are the core area of governance
and society.
That's, we talk of economic. We talk of security. We talk of provision of food. We talk of health, infrastructure. To mention but few. How many of these things can we say the present government have done well? Let us ask ourselves. If they have done well, then why should we change them? If they have done well, why should we be complaining? If they have done well, why should Nigerians be saying, oh, to your tent, history? Let us come back to the Commonwealth of Nigeria today is petroleum. Today, when they came on board, we can still buy petroleum as at rate of less than 200 naira. It got a stage 190. Today, as at this morning, I bought 905. And apart from buying 905, the question is this: some people could not even have the fuel. That means the availability is a bit questionable in some areas, not in all areas anyway. Some areas, unlike we have in the past. The era of black market has gone. The era of non-availability is going gradually, but now it is available but cannot be affordable. It's available but not affordable. If I want to go to Akure before, I go with my car. Today I have to park my car and go with transport, with a commercial bus, vehicles, because I cannot afford the fuel that will take my car down to Akure to and fro. Not talk of someone go to Lagos or otherwise. And next we need to think about is about the government workers. They promise that when they increase their wages, other things will not be increased. As at that time, fuel was 500 naira when they were thinking of minimum wage. Today, the official price of fuel is 850 naira. That means 300 naira has gone on top of it. That means they are taking with they are giving with the right hand and taking with the left hand. This is another factor we need to consider. Now let us go into the food production. What food Nigeria is producing today? What are we producing as food? Even the cash crops we have before is no longer available. Even the food we're supposed to consume within ourselves, we don't. The S-men could not allow us to farm again. And what are we doing about the S-men? What are we doing about the Fulani issues that is going around this country now? What have we done about it? What is government doing to say Nigeria leaders as of today? We thank you. Can anybody come out as Nigeria today to say thank you, government of Nigeria? Let the person come out and say it. If I cannot say it, I think few people will, if not many people, will not be able to say it. In America, I have not been there anyway. They say if they wake up, they say God bless America. Yes. In Nigeria, who will come out and say God bless Nigeria now? Is this someone that have not eaten today, or no someone that did not have hope of what to eat?
Someone was denied healthcare,
or denied of infrastructures. Just mention it. This is why I want to beg the present government. It is not too late. If they want us to believe in them, they should be more committed to governance than political gains.
But let me ask this actually, because I begin to ask myself about the people themselves, because at the end of the day, the end products are the people. Growing up, or let's say school has taught me about this thing called agenda setting, and they called it the two-step flow, where opinion leaders have big influence on the people. Today you see, no matter what some people are passing through in their life, there is this, they separate loyalty to party and reality to a very large extent, or loyalty to personalities than reality. Some people don't even have anything to eat, but are still very loyal to their political leaders to a very large extent. We saw what happened in Delta State yesterday, where we saw the rallies and all that. Many people that came out and were supporting. Part of them, I know some of them that are actually aides to some of these political leaders, and to a very large extent, I know how they lament behind the doors, but on the open, everybody is still ailing and supporting and voting and all that for those leaders to a very large extent. And that is one of the confidence many of the political class have, that so far this person is going, he will take his people along with him. So there's this call to loyalty to these personalities. Is there a way that it can be broken in Nigeria, where today there are many party people that can't even criticize someone from your party? For someone like me that believes I can be your friend, I can be your supporter,
tell me the truth.
But I can't. In fact, what is our friendship if I can't tell you the bitter truth that you are not doing well? Is the harsh truth. Let's leave every other thing aside. Do the right thing. But in this country, in the political space, the minute they say a thing, and
it will be used against them,
they all believe whatever he says is right. How do we address? Is there going to be a time where we can actually separate loyalty to party and real issues happening within the country?
Thank you very much. That's a very brilliant question. I'm a victim of what you have just said, and I will clear it today. There's one thing Nigerians don't know, and that is the first response or answer to your question is education and reorientation. Nigerians needed to be educated and reorientated. We have forgotten that first thing as a Nigerian, you must be patriotic. Loyalty is for party and leaders, but Nigeria, if truly you are a Nigerian, you must be patriotic. It is when that patriotism is established, you cannot begin to think of loyalty. Today, no more politicians are being patriotic, but they are now being loyal, forgetting their first assignment to be patriotic. And that is the answer. If truly you want to be patriotic, you must know that loyalty has nothing to do to patriotism. As I am today, I am patriotic, and I will be one till Jesus calls me. And that will never stop my loyalty. This issue had caused troubles between me and my leaders in the past, and I made them to know that I must be first of all patriotic before I can be loyal. When the party is not doing the right thing, it is the duty of Nigeria who is patriotic to let them know that what you are doing is wrong. Let me give you an instance. When this issue of fuel increment was about to start, I heard something from one of my leaders that, please, leaders, make this painless for Nigeria. I asterisked it. Make this pain. The implication is that we admitted there is pain in Nigeria. Then we are not begging that let this pain be painless. But the question is the pain painless now or becoming more painful?
Very unbearable.
The question is that it's becoming more painful. And how can we stop it if all Nigerians can come out and speak the truth of their mind before they begin to establish the loyalty they have? Be patriotic first. Once you are patriotic, the other one will be taken care of.
Well, you were talking about education and reorientation the other time, but it is so unfortunate that most of these people who are supposed to come out and even say something, this is what you are doing that is right, this is what you are doing that is not right, and we are not supporting this. Most of them are even the educated ones.
Yes, there is difference between being educated and being knowing what you're supposed to know. Let me give you an instance.
But we have some people that they know what they are supposed to do,
but refuse to do.
Some of them in this political class are
yes, probably people, maybe because of what they will get or their personal gains or something. But it is so unfortunate that the way they talk, when you sit down with this set of people, the way they talk and all, you'll be like, wow. So this person knows the right thing, but for them to come out to say that, okay, what you're doing is not good, we don't like it, they won't do it. So that is why I'm surprised. Like most of them, they know what they are doing, they know what they are supposed to do, and they are educated.
But my statement of say being educated, I will tell you today.
Okay.
Let me give you an instance. A professor and an umpire, is two people were fighting, and he said, okay, if you are the umpire who are to decide the fate, and you discover that there are some foul plays between them. Okay, we say if you are not comfortable, go to court. What was that? You are the umpire that's supposed to identify the problems and solve the issue, resolve the issue for them. You now say, okay, if they are not satisfied, even before your judgment, you say they should go to court. You know what that means? Do you want to tell me that such person that was made an umpire did not know what supposed to do? A professor for that matter? The answer is no. The question is in Nigeria today, loyalty is now being more pronounced than being patriotic. And my education is that people may know what patriotism means and what loyalty means, but they cannot decipher, they cannot differentiate. And some people, they know, but they cannot practice what they know.
So probably mixing it up.
They not even mixing it. They, because of what they want to gain, they are forgotten patriotism. They are not committed to loyalty. Where education comes is this: Nigerians should know that before being loyal to anybody or to any party, you must first of all be patriotic to Nigeria. That's all we want to let the Nigerians know. We want to begin to preach patriotism above loyalty. A time will come, some people will grab it more than, because as of today, if you go to any political meeting or any gathering, the leaders there will tell you loyalty is always 100%. 99.9% is not acceptable. That's the language now. It's now a general language. But none of them will ever say patriotism is above loyalty. Now Nigeria must come with a new rule. You have been trying to make me to say what I don't want to say. No, but today I want to let Nigerians know that patriotism supersedes loyalty. And let us begin to preach that. And let us see the number of people that will key into it. Once you are loyal to it, once you are patriotic to a country, you will never look for the downfall or anything that will hurt that country. And that is that is what they do in America and some developed countries. They will always protect the interest of their country above their own interest. Today we protect our own interest above our country's interest, and that's where we find it bad and uncalled for. Today, when Remi Tinubu came on board and the wife of the president said something, that we are rich, we don't need Nigerians' money, we have come to make Nigeria better than how we are going to, how we made it. The question is this: that statement, is it corroborating what is happening now? That's a question every Nigerian should be able to answer. Yes, they are not stealing our money. Nobody can say they have stolen any money. But the question is, the money on ground, how have we been managing it to satisfy Nigerians? The last administration came on board with something that was very irritating. The cost of Nigerians vulnerables, and they were giving them money. How do you
poorest of the poor?
Poorest of the poor. How do you identify them? That's the first question. Who tells you that the ones you mentioned being vulnerable are some people who educated are even better? They are even better than some educated ones. Let me tell you today, some cobblers are building houses, and government workers cannot buy land.
Even struggling
artisans
to pay house rent.
are now having
More money.
mansions, but government workers of 35 years cannot buy a land. How do you not justify
So
the vulnerability?
even the government workers should have even been part of the vulnerable.
The vulnerable is-
In
so
the
they should be identified. That's by the way. Now, do you know that this administration has confirmed one thing I appreciate most, and I always thank the president of Nigeria for that. Someone was relieved of her duty as a minister.
Yeah.
Why? Because some money belonging to these vulnerables were being misappropriated. That shows that the government of the day identified the person, identified the force. But what efforts have they made to arrest the institution? I guess, and I will start to be corrected, the last batch of Empower are yet to collect their name salary, and going to over a year now, they are yet to be paid. And this money we are suspecting to have been misappropriated was part of the money meant for these innocent Nigerians that have worked but could not get their money.
Even the NYC was a product of their ransom.
Well, just to mention a few, these are the things that we are doing wrongly in Nigeria that we are now ready to correct. And you want me to accept the government of the day to be doing well. Once I can not be able to identify one thing that they have done well, to have relieved the woman of the job, good job. But aftermath, these people that were affected, what have we done? Are we going to abandon them? Now, many of them are dying in poverty. Put that one aside. Now, when we say government is doing well, how do we juxtapose? How do we identify a government that is doing well? I remember the word in Bible. I'm not too good. I'm not a Bible scholar. But there's one thing I know. I read, and it's not in the general public, that when the righteous are in power, people rejoice. The question is, are Nigerians rejoicing?
But then
question for me and you.
In the Nigerian situation, though, sometimes there are some people rejoice when the corrupt are in power. Actually,
you said so anyway.
No, I'm talking from experience actually, because I know very corrupt people in offices that the people who smiled and were happy when they were there. When they were taking off, they were very terrible. Since that day, my justice system has changed. That I think the terrible person is sometimes very good, because that righteous one we think is righteous just made everybody have chance to steal something out of it. So definitely we are all at privilege.
If you have said so anyway, I want to
I think maybe when I see Solomon one day, maybe some years after now, we never will readdress that scripture.
Perhaps anyway.
But then, as we crescendoed on this discourse, I was seeing some interviews by some who worked with the Popular Labour Party in the past regime, where they are in the past election, where they talked about some situations that happened in the past elections, looking at the fact that Labour Party won in Lagos, won in some states, that even Delta State, they won in that state, which people never actually expected them to win and all that. And we are talking about the fact that no matter the amount of people that defects, is the people that are going to decide. Do you think there is still an array of hope towards the place of 2027? I know you've said before that everybody should be planning towards 2031, but let's be sincere with ourselves. With such postulations, just from a reconfirming from you, do you think anything can still happen before 2027?
Very simple answer. When Labour Party came on board, was it 2 years before the election? Labour Party has been working towards it around 4 years before the election. And when the election time came, you saw the way they moved Nigeria. To the essence, in some other parts of Nigeria, some of them are still members of National Assembly, even sending MHR and all the rest as of today.
So I because defected right now.
They are now defecting. The question is this: the force they applied then came gradually from sensitization to orientation to education to determination. And don't forget, this dream was eventually killed before the birth. And that was why you see them in the first election, they did well, and the second election, the reverse was the case. Because they have been, their dream had been defeated. What they started, they could not finish it. And that's the problem of Nigerians. When we start, we always have a very good starting, but we have not been able to finish well. And to even come back to the election itself, it's embarrassing. If 90 million Nigerians are eligible voters, or let me call it registered voters, and we recorded less than 25 million voters, that is to tell us we have voters apathy.
Yes.
What are we not doing to arrest it? And that's I want to appreciate the government, the present government, by saying they want to remove PVC from voting. By the time PVC is removed, you will know that over half of Nigerian voters will vote this time around. Because yes, half of Nigerian voters.
Because Nigerians
you are getting it wrong. All right, genuine or counterfeit. Whether truly they came out to vote or not,
we'll see.
But there will be more voters this time around. If truly that is scaled through by the National Assembly and it was approved, that Nigerians can now vote without PVC, I can assure you we will have more voters than what we have ever had in Nigeria. And I will tell you, because I know the result, I know the implication, I know the end result, and I will not be disappointed with what I'm envisaging. It has happened in the past, it will certainly happen. I have been in a place before in the past, many years back when Nigeria was still in the dark ages, whereby election results are shared by majority parties. If there are 3 parties there and they know that this party is the most senior, take 50%. The next one, take 20%. The next one, take percent. Then let's go for vote. This has happened in the past in Nigeria of us. So if by prevention, if this PVC usage is no longer is now withdrawn, you can imagine what result it will give us.
And we know that the genius himself is in there.
And we know the genius is in power. We know how to play. We know how to play our parts now. So put that one aside. I can tell you, Nigeria is still have many ways to go to get to that, to get to the end. But today, I pity the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria, and it's not too late for the government of the day to do the needful, and for the coalition to do the needful. There is the illustration is not like, it's just like an elderly man and with a young boy. The young boy came to the elderly man and said, "Sir, I have a bird with me. Is it dead or alive?" If the man says it's dead, the boy will just leave the bird and will fly away. But if the man says this bird in your hand is dead, I mean, if it's alive, the boy will just strangle it and that is dead. But the man now said, dead or alive is in your hand. So Nigeria today, dead or alive is in our hands. God bless Nigeria.
Left to us to decide.
That's a very great rhetoric, actually. A rhetorical question. Dead or alive, it's actually in our hands. Well, we'll still see. The game is the game. It's on. And yeah, we will keep bringing you updates here on KAFTAN television as time goes by. And like you said, 2027, immediately after the election, we're going to bring you in again.
Gladly, even if wherever I am, call me out here.
Even if it's online, we're going to have a conversation.
We need to rediscuss this.
We'll discuss it again and review what actually happened this time. And that is if some of us. I will refer to today. Yeah, definitely this video is going to be out there. But then, thank you very much, sir, once again for being a part of this discussion. We appreciate everything you said. And thanks for the sarcasm from the beginning and the satire at the end. But then it's well. We just hope that things get better. We hope things get better actually. But then let's go for sports. Immediately after sports, we'll come back here to see our conclusions and our goodbyes on Daybreak Africa. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. I hope you're enjoying sport, and yes, and I hope you're also enjoying the discussions we had. Actually, I enjoyed sport. I don't know whether ladies enjoy sport actually.
Sport is not not for me.
So I don't know why ladies don't like sports.
Not all ladies. For someone like me, sport is not for me. But then, I think the one sport I love is swimming.
Swimming?
Yes.
I don't like swimming actually. I prefer boxing, I prefer rugby. I
don't like anything rough.
No, this country is rough now, so I'm back.
Yes, the country is rough already, so please.
I'm back to the gym now to go back to the rough sport.
Okay,
so definitely
please,
it's just
I love swimming.
I like
football and
I like football. I like basketball. I used to play football, though I like basketball. I like other things. But then the discussion today was very deep.
I enjoyed every bit.
But
then you know something caught my attention where our guest made mention of suffering and smiling. It's as if that is the new order of the day in Nigeria, because you hear people say when you are clothed, then you don't know what's up with that person unless you get to sit with the person and you start talking. That is when you know what is going on. And it is as if this is what is going on with every Nigerian of today. Everybody is just suffering and smiling. It is only when you get close to them that you know what's up. Why? Or because of the way the country is, or because of our politicians, or because of our leaders. But then
we'll survive it. So I was looking at someone recently, the person saw me on television and thought I never had an issue, and that period I had a very terrible issue, and I was just trying to look for admins and money to sort the old issue. So I sent the person a text and I was like, guy, please, I beg this, that. The next day, well, I think so you show for TV, like, and next thing, celebrity I'm like, bro.
He's only got an angel who has no issue.
As at now in this country, even for them to cry out, who am I? No, who am I?
This is what it eats differently.
It eats differently, that's just the old truth.
And everyone has one or
the other. And one of the things I think I picked from that discussion is the place of loyalty and patriotism. Yes. I think it's one thing we need to separate. No matter how much you are, whether you're APC or PDP, or learn to say it the way it is.
What our guest said is right, because let me say 98% of politicians now prefer to be loyal than to be patriotic. It's not supposed to be. I think I learned that too, and I'm keeping it. You have to be patriotic first
before the loyalty. So very large extent, I think I picked that one too as well. I always say it anywhere I am. I don't even like friends who can't tell me the truth. You need to learn to tell somebody the truth.
Definitely, you are not friends, because you know the funniest thing is, even if your friend can't tell you the truth, if he or she can't say it to your face, he or she will definitely
say it behind you.
So then that means we are not friends.
And the truth is,
if I'm doing something good and you can come to me and be like, wow, my friend, you did this and you really did well. Same energy you used in saying that should also be used in castigating me, like, guy, you are my friend, but then this you did is not right. And if any other person can tell you the fact, I should be able to tell you the fact because I am your friend. But then when it comes to politics, reverse is the case, because those people you see as your own person, as your own man and hoe, they know what you're doing is wrong, but then they will never come to you to tell you, oh, this thing you are doing is bad, or because they say they are loyal to you, but then they are not being patriotic, and that is bad.
And that's very bad. But then, Mr. President, I think you need to hear this. Even though it's the presidency that might get the message at the end of the day, the truth is, some of your loyalists, they are saying it's behind you that you are not doing well in the actual sense, in the actual truth. But then just to save face, not as if people don't believe in what you want to do, in what you are trying to do. We understand it, but the truth is, the ash effect is actually on everybody. So I think we all need to go back and rediscover. So as you are adding people to your party, please add tactics to it as well, add strategies to it too, add what can make the people enjoy ease.
Of this wahala.
And let the poor actually breed. Let it not just be a theory you are just passing on to us. Because
to me, it's as if everybody is not vulnerable in Nigeria. Not just, oh, these are the vulnerable ones.
No, everybody is vulnerable, sir. In fact, if you go out there, you'll discover that, forget the cars and all that, people are really, at least, I'm a friend to a banker who happens to be the account officer to a very wealthy politician before. The banker was lamenting recently that when he checked, the last he checked, even in the politician's account, there was nothing much in his account anymore. So the truth is, please, sir, everybody is passing through one or two things. So please, at this particular time, even though you're adding people to your country, please have strategies. And please, political parties, tell your personalities the truth. It's very important. It does not mean you're not loyal to them. It means you just want them to do well. And do well is what Nigerians need.
For the betterment of that person.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But then it's time to say our goodbyes on Daybreak Africa. Tomorrow we'll still come back here again to say a lot of things, bring us new topics, educate us, and inform us. But then till tomorrow, my name still remains Joshua Yadeji.
And hi, I'm Afolashayo. Hamzat.
Bye guys.